Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Crazy Geek. Today we are going to talk about human language versus computer language. A human language is a language that has come to existence for the primary purpose of communication among humans. And the evolution of a language is complex, and there are many theories about how a language is developed. Almost all humans acquire more than one language. All right. And these languages shares common characteristics among them. And here, like we'll see how we use these languages to communicate with each other, and we see what are the advantages that we take using these languages. All right. So we can see each and every language that comes along with their set of rules and regulations. So each and every language have their own alphabets, words, and with the help of words, uh, we create sentence. But we will only consider a sentence to be correct only and only if the sentence is fulfilling the requirement of a grammar. So overall, the grammar plays an important role for forming a sentence, which will be considered as a correct if the grammar is correct. All right, and now we will understand how we use this language and how we communicate with each other. So basically, a human is a natural computer which has some input and some outputs. So basically, we use those inputs to understand the language, and by performing some activities, speaking, writing, and then doing some activities, we we uh, do we produce some outputs. All right. So if anyone who learns a language by following the rules of a language and learning the alphabets and words and learning the grammar of a language, then anybody can use that the language to communicate with each other, right? So here we can see we take the language as a medium to communicate with each other. Now the interesting part here is we use the languages in the real world, where we do a very lots of important tasks, such as like drafting a checkbook. So it is defined with some rules that how a checkbook should be and how it should everyone should follow to write a checkbook or to do a business deal, right? And in a similar fashion, we many times we use agreement for any contract, right? So we make an agreement by following the language, and then we follow all the set of rules defined for the language, right? So these are the real world scenarios that we use, and we follow the language, and we perform these real world tasks in order to solve any problems, right? So now we will call these applications as a physical applications, using we create these applications by following the language. Any language we follows, we have to follow their grammar. With the help of grammar, we it follows sentences and the words and alphabets and everything. All right. And now if we talk about a computer language, so basically a computer language, uh, I mean, it's not a natural language, obviously, because it's a machine, and it doesn't have a natural brain to think of, or to come up with some evolution, right? So basically, a computer is nothing but an electronic device which is invented by a human, right? And we consider a computer is an intelligent device also, because it is being programmed in such a way that it takes some data as an input and performs some process the data and perform some task and produce some results out of it, right? So basically uh, we have seen computers like mostly used to solve real world problems, which in a very sophisticated manner, right? So now, in order to communicate with the computer, we have computer languages, and these languages are nothing but the high level language we say in a computer terminology, right? Why we say this is high level languages? Because these are the languages which are being used by us, but when we talk about a computer, it will never understand these languages directly. And because as I mentioned earlier, like the computer will always consider binaries in order to process the data, and binaries are nothing but electronic charges on the storage of a computer, and which represents the data which we provide through the input of computer like keyboard and mouse. So we are the input, standard input to the computer, and the output, whatever the results we see on a screen of a computer. And so the high level languages has been created in order to perform or solve some task on a computer, where if we want to learn a computer language, so we follow the similar pattern. And here we have the alphabets, which is mostly in every programming language, or we have English alphabets, symbols and digits, right? But every language comes along with their own set of words. Those words are nothing but the keywords. Understand? And with the help of keywords, we create a logical statement. And these statements are nothing but an instruction to the computer. And obviously, these instructions will be considered as a correct instructions or correct statements only if we are following the correct syntax given or defined by the particular language, right? So this is how we define a way of communicating with the computer, and uh, we solve the problems by writing the high level language, and ask I mean giving a task to the computer to solve the problems, right? Now, with the help of these languages, what we do in the real world scenario, that we combine the statements together in order to form a program. So, in other words, like a program is nothing but a collection of statements or collection of statements which executes in a computer, right? And in a similar fashion, we combine the programs in order to create an application. So basically, what is an application? Applications we have seen like uh, there are many applications exist, right? So you can see these are the example of applications that we see in a computer, right? So this is the way how we use a computer language in order to create applications, and the applications are being used in our uh, daily routine. Like if somebody is working on an accounting sections, they will use some accounting software or application, we can say, right? And this is the way like we define and relate the computer language with the human language. That's all for this video. I hope you guys uh, like the idea how we relate the computer language with the human language, and how it evolutes, and how it's like follows the standard rules that is being defined for each and every programming languages. But overall, they share a common characteristics, a common terminology in order to execute any task on a computer. So put your comments in a comment section in case if you have a doubts or a queries or any suggestion. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you in the next video.